Now, whenever we are discussing with real estate investors and we are advising them to invest in certain locations for rental income, for rental cash flow, oh, you can buy at so price and rent out the property at so amount, and they're like, hey, Rabiu, are you serious? So I'm going to wait for 10 years or wait for 15 years or wait for so years before I can make back my money. So, and I feel people are like this, people are this reluctant because they don't really understand the rental market in Lagos. They don't really understand rental investment in Lagos. So I'll be delivering this masterclass. I'll be delivering this masterclass with different curves, different statistics that shows how the rental market in Lagos actually works, what we mean by rental acquisition, what we mean by rental demand, what we mean by emerging market, existing markets, and also how the rental value in a location can move up, can be linear, or can drop. So this is a masterclass, really. This is a masterclass. So in case you are coming across a video like this for the first time, this is Meet the Property Guy Property channel, and this will discuss everything real estate. We have a lot of masterclass, a lot of videos, a lot of guides we have done on property titles, shortlets, real estate companies, everything you need to know basically for you to start investing, for you to protect your investments, and also for you to make very good returns from your investments. So after watching this particular masterclass video on rental markets, rental investment here in Lagos, I also suggest you go to our different playlists on shortlets, on Ibeju-Lekki, on Ekpe, because a lot of things are happening here in Lagos, and the real estate market right now is on a boom. So let's go into the topic, understanding the rental market, understanding rental investment here in Lagos. So before you go fully into the masterclass and start the analysis, if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, I really want to hit 2K viewers, 2K subscribers rather. I really want to hit 2K subscribers before the end of the year. Kindly do subscribe, kindly do invite your friends to subscribe, because we have so many masterclass, so many fantastic guys that we are going to be sharing, and you are definitely going to be learning a lot from these videos. And again, I also want video testimonials. A lot of you guys have been learning from our videos, that have been getting a lot of very important guys, and you have been saving you a lot of losses, a lot of money by sharing these guys to you. I really want video testimonials. And a lot of you guys want to support us. A lot of you guys want to appreciate what we've been doing. I want it in video. I want a video testimonial. It's not compulsory to show your face. You can give me any background. I just want to hear your voice, and I want it in video. I will so much appreciate it. All right, so let's go into the masterclass topic for today about understanding rental market here in Lagos. Now, trust me, there is no place here that you are going to invest in Lagos, if you are investing rightly, that you will have to wait for 15 years for you to get your investment back via rental income. And I can prove it for you. I have the data to prove it. I have the statistics to prove it. Again, if you are investing rightly here in Lagos, there is no location here in Lagos that you have to wait 15 years for you to get your return on investment or to get your money back if you are doing it on rental. And I'll be sharing different curves, different analysis, different statistics just to back this up, because you need to understand what we mean by emerging location and existing location. And it's because you guys don't understand this analysis and this analogy, that's why you invest wrongly and you ignore some certain locations where you should actually be investing, because you don't know the particular phase in the curve that particular location is. Because you need to understand if the location is on a climbing curve or the location is on a linear curve when you are investing in that location for rental. See, we have over 20 million people in Lagos. That's a huge rental market for accommodation. And you have like over 5 million housing deficit in Lagos. So any property that you have in Lagos, you at least have thousands of people that need it. So Lagos has a very thriving rental market, so you don't want to ignore it. And I'll be sharing you different tips, different analysis on how you can start your rental investment and how you can position yourself in some certain location also for rental income here in Lagos. All right, so we are going to be starting with sharing some certain curves with you, and some of these curves also represent some certain locations here in Lagos: Orchid, Chevron, Ikeja, Surulere, Ekpe, Ibeju-Lekki, Alagbado, Alimosho, Badagry, Ikorodu. All these different locations have different rental curves, and all these different locations are also at a different phase of the rental curve. Now, you need to understand locations that are on the climbing curve for rental income, and you also need to understand some locations that are on a linear curve for rental income. And that's why you are going to see some locations where the rental value is like doubling between 3 to 5 years. So if you are collecting 1 million now, by 2027, 2028, you'll likely be collecting 2 million to 2.5 million naira for rent. So, and there are some locations where the rental appreciation is just like around 30%, 35%, which means that if you are collecting maybe 5 million naira rent right now, the highest you can do in 5 years time, in 7 years time, is to collect like maybe 6.5, or to collect 7 million. So you want to position yourself in locations where the rental curve is fast, is on a rise, it is not linear. And that's why I'm sharing this curve with you, so that you can understand how this rental appreciation works. Now, in this curve, you can see where we have low entry capital, then you can see where we have emerging markets, where I outline emerging markets, and you can see also where I outline as thriving existing markets. Then you can see climbing curve, and you can also see peak period. Now, all these things may seem like big grammar to you. Now, it's not really big grammar, it's just like me trying to make this a bit analytical. So it's not going to be, it's a realtor that is speaking. Realtors, they have sweet mouth. All right, so I want to share this to you with statistics, with data, so that you are going to also understand this, that okay, the decisions I'm making with my money is data backed. All right, so now we have some locations here in Lagos where if you are buying the property there, you are building a property there for you to rent it out, the locations still have a low entry capital. So around some months ago, some bungalows were selling at maybe 8 million, 10 million, and as at last year or 18 months ago, is even till now with 20 million, are still going to get a house in Ekpe right now. All right, so on the island, the Lekki axis, a one bed right now is like pegged at like maybe 40 million. The Lekki axis, 40 million, 45 million for a one bed, and then two bed right now have moved to like around like 65, 70, 80 million for a two bed around the Kate or Sapa, Lekki phase 1 axis. All right, now, so you can see that the entry capital in these locations differ. The entry capital, which is what you are going to spend to buy a property, to buy a house in Ekpe, is different from what you are going to spend to buy a house in Ikate. What you are going to spend to buy a house in Ikeja GRA is different from what you are going to spend to buy a house in Badagry or in Ikorodu. So all these locations, they have different entry capital. That's what I mean by the entry capital. What you are going to spend to buy a property in that location. Now, you can see that the entry capital, the way I outline it, span over a period of time. Now, what we mean by this is you are buying a property in the location for like maybe 10 million, 6.5 million, 7 million, 15 million, 12 million. The rental value will also be low. The rental value will also be low. See, don't be falling for scam. Don't let someone tell you that you can buy a property for 12 million and rent it out for 2 million. It's impossible. Who will rent it? Who will rent it? All right, except there are always scenarios that don't work with the norm, but that is not like the best example to give for everybody. So most times when you are buying the property, you'll be looking at 10%, between 7 to 10%, between 7 to 10% of that property as the rental value. So if the property is 10 million, then you'll be looking at between 700k to 1 million for rent. Even you may even do 600k as a start, depending on how that location is just coming up. If the property is like 15 million, then you'll be looking at that between like 1 million, 1.2 million, 900k for rent. If the property is like 25 million, then you'll be looking at around like maybe 1.8 million, 1.5 million or even 2 million for the rent. Basically, that's how it works. So now, when the property exits the emerging market stage, the low entry capital stage, then the curve starts rising. Just as shown here, the curve starts rising. So that's when the rental value now starts moving from 800k, start moving to 1.5 million. By the time you see another like 3 years, that rental value have entered 1.82 million. Before you see another like 5-7 years, that rental value have entered like 3 million. So the objective when you want to invest in rental properties is you want to position yourself in places where the curve is just starting to rise. Because the higher the curve is rising, the higher the entry capital of that location. So once the rental value becomes 1.5 million, they will not be selling property there at 15 million again. They will starting to be selling property there at maybe 18, 22 million. Once the rental value becomes 2 million per annum, they will not be selling property there again for 12 million. They will be selling at 25 million, 28 million. So the more the rental value, the rental curve of a location is rising, the higher the property appreciation in that location too. So which means if your objective is cash flow, if your objective is rental income, you want to invest before that rental curve starts rising. So a lot of you guys, the location that you are buying are places where the rental curve has already got like maybe 50%. So the places are already nearing their peak. You are buying the property to rent out in Ikeja, you are buying the property to rent out in Surulere, in Yaba. The rental demand in this place is very high, but the rental appreciation is not a curve, is linear. The rental appreciation there is linear. Unlike places like Epe, Awoyaya, Lakwe, Eleko, the rental value right now is low. Admittedly, is low. But trust me, once that rental value exceeds the emerging market and it starts going to a curve, those properties, the rental values are going to skyrocket, because all the people that are working in the free trade zone, or the people that are working around the refinery, or different people that are working in different businesses around the seaport, or the people that are going to be working around different businesses around the airport, is all these locations they are going to be looking for places to rent. And one thing about rental income is that it doesn't matter if you built your property 10 years ago, or 15 years ago, or 18 years ago. It doesn't matter, maybe when you bought that property, cement was 800, or cement was 1-2 per bag. You are still going to be charging the current rate based on the current value of cement, based on the current value of real estate there. That's rental income. So definitely you can't charge the same rate as someone that bought a house for new. Like, okay, for example, let's go to Orchid. Let's use Orchid as a very good example. Now, as at 2010, 2011, down to like 2014, Orchid was like a poor man's Lekki. Orchid was like a poor man's Lekki. The only people that was staying in Orchid were people like that cannot afford the Chevron staff quarters, and they are working around Chevron, and they just like need to just squeeze themselves in a place. So Orchid was all water and swamp. So at that period of time, the rental market there was an emerging market. But then the rental market there then was the best time for anybody to invest. All right, so as at 2014 down to like 2016, a four bed duplex in Orchid, 20 million. 20 million, you get the 4 bed in Orchid. Even below 20 million, you get the 4 bed in Orchid. But by the time we get to like 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, these 4 beds started rising. 30 million, 35 million, 40 million, 45 million. And the current rate for a 4 bed terrace in Orchid right now is 60 to 65 million. Now, for people that bought around 2012, 2014, they bought at maybe 20 million or 25 million then. And people that are buying right now at 65 million, like people that are buying now are collecting like maybe 4.5 million rent for the apartment that they bought, because it's a new building. So people that bought around 2014, 2016, it's not a new building, so they can't collect 4.5 million rent. But a lot of them are still collecting like 3 million naira rent for a property that they bought as at when maybe cement was 1.2 or 1.5 per bag. So you can understand that people don't pay rent here in Lagos based on maybe your house is new or your house is not new. They pay rent because of the location. Most times, although your house, the maintenance, the ambience, and how you finish the house also matter a lot. But a lot of people don't mind repainting your entire house, changing the tiles, changing everything that has to change in the house, as long as they get in that location. So that's why if you want to invest in rentals, you want to look at location where the curve is just starting to climb, because at that time the entry capital is low, and at the time that the curve starts rising very high and the entry capital still is very high at that period of time, you still charge the same rental value as at the price that people are buying then. So when we tell you that, oh, buy in Ekpe, buy in Ibeju-Lekki, buy in Awoyaya, and you are saying, no, who rents a house in that? It's because you don't understand the rental market. The Kate, the Lekki phase 1 that you are looking at to buy an apartment for rental, it makes a lot of sense. There is a house at Chevron that we are managing, the rent is 6 million. And someone paid 6 million for that rent. And by the time it's like 2 years, we are definitely not going to rent it out for 6 million again. It's likely going to go like 6.5 or 7 million. Definitely, it's even going to go to 7 million. Definitely. So all these locations also make sense for rent. Definitely. But if you really want to maximize your investment more, want to maximize your cash flow more, you want to position yourself in locations where you don't really have to invest so much, but eventually you can earn so much. Now, if you look at this curve very well, this curve also perfectly represents property appreciation. So apart from the rental appreciation, this curve also explains how properties also appreciate in different places. So there are some locations where there are low entry capital right now. Ekpe, around Ekpe toll gates, around Ketu Ekpe, around Agbowa Ikosi. Okay, don't worry. By the time most of these locations they start climbing based on population growth, based on rapid commercialization, based on infrastructure development, those locations are going to boom. Some of the locations here in Lagos, they have hit their peak, and that's because the locations have already become overpopulated. So there is likely there will not be any change in that location in the next 5 years. You see, most of these locations that have hit their peak, they are fantastic for commercial investment. If you have a shop there, if you have an office space there, you are definitely going to be making more money. But if you have a rental apartment there, your rental appreciation, your space will never be empty because people will be paying your rent. But the way or how fast you can change your rent is going to be linear. You can't just jack up the rent anyhow, because the rental appreciation there has become linear. For some places in Ekpe, in Ibeju-Lekki, the rental value will go 300% between 7 years or between 6 years. So you just want to position yourself and look at which location you are putting your investment, and also how fast the trends there, how fast is the market there rising, and how can you tap into the market there. So in case you have any further question about this curve, about this analysis, about this analogy, about the rental markets here in Lagos mainland, Surulere, Ikeja, the Lagos Island, the Kate, Lekki phase 1, and also the new Lagos around the Ibeju-Lekki, Eleko, Ayetoru, Ekpe, Ketu Ekpe, Ilara, and so on. You can drop a comment. I will definitely respond to that. And also, you can also reach me directly on WhatsApp on the different opportunities around these locations. Which locations still have low entry capital right now? Which locations can you invest before the curve starts climbing? And what is the curve like in different locations that you have a property, maybe around Egbeda, around Ogba, around Madisoya, around some Ikorodu, that you have your real estate investment? You can definitely advise you on that. Don't forget, if you have not subscribed yet to our video, kindly do subscribe. And if you have enjoyed this video, kindly give us a thumb like, for us to know that you enjoyed this video, you enjoy our analysis, the data that you have shared here, the statistics that you have shared here, this curve that you have shared here, because you have put in so much work into this. And remember, one of the ways that you can support us is to share a video testimonial with us. I really appreciate it. Just do a 1 to 3 minutes video. Tell us how much you have learned. Tell us how much impact you have made into your real estate investment. How much helpful you have been with our different guys. I'll so much appreciate it. Alright, as you know, more property on the planet, your property advisor, what the consultant, Rabi Mustafa. Thanks once again for watching our videos. Thanks once again for the support, for the encouragement, the likes, the subscribe, the shares, the comments. We appreciate you guys so much, and see you next time.